So this was kind of interesting. This woman, Alex Strauss, wrote an article, and she was talking about saying goodbye to last year, that these are kind of a few different concepts that are important to consider, that before people can look forward to the next year, perhaps we need to close up the past year, and that people get to speak about how that was for them, answering some questions for each other about, how did you feel about last year? What did you learn from last year? What went really well? What was really hard? How can we work better together next year? That would be the next question, which is about saying hello to the new year. How can we remember to check in with each other better than we have been? Those kinds of questions. Like, I'm asking questions like, what were the highlights or big moments you enjoyed, that joy you experienced? What were the lowest points for you? How can we make meaning from what we've gone through? What are the lessons we're taking from this year? What changed in your belief system, priorities, or values? How did you arrive at them? Those are all really great questions that we can kind of embrace and really begin to talk about, and take the time with your partner. Valentine's Day might be a great day to do that. Dr. John Gottman, who's one of the very well-known couples therapists and written some books, he's the one that came up with those questions. And then saying hello to the new year, talking about, and some people that were talking about this, Anthony Chambers at the Family Institute of Northwestern University. Optimism and intimacy are really important to have. Having things to look forward to. What do they say, Bernie? That you want to have someone to connect with, have something to do, and have something to look forward to.
Right.
And, planning ahead. What are the projects you want to work on as a family? Even if it's just cleaning out the house and cleaning up and clearing out and using being at home as a time to do that, which we've talked about before, or whether it's taking some safe day trips, or whether it's thinking about, well, now that we're at home, let's go ahead and redo the kitchen, or whatever kinds of things feel like they would be helpful to make life feel more comfortable together. All those kinds of things about what do we want for ourselves? How do we want to move forward? And then he talks about how to say hello to each other, like thinking about, ways to check in with each other. And there's another person by the name of Stan Tatkin, who's also written a number of couples books. This comes from the one called Love and War in Intimate Relationships. And he talks about something called an owner's manual. And this idea of saying hello to each other, when we talk about saying hello to each other, Bernie, we're talking about the idea of having an owner's manual on each other. And it's really only a few things that need to be understood, but like being able to answer the question, asking some of these questions. What are 3 or 4 things that you need to hear that make you feel good? What are 3 or 4 things that feel vulnerable since childhood? What brings a smile to your partner's face? How do you calm your partner down? These are all the kinds of things that when you talk about saying hello to each other, I'm talking really about attunement. How are you doing? What's going on with you? How was your day? That's the surface level. But then more importantly, how does my partner seem to me? And what do I need to do to help you? How can I partner with them in this moment? So those are some kind of ideas about how couples can, you asked about, how do we kind of move toward Valentine's Day? And it's kind of all about remembering you have a partner and what do you want to do about that? How about remember Valentine's Day, right? It is Valentine's Day. And we want to remember each other, and we want to kind of take this moment to really commemorate the couple and celebrate the couple and make the couple important, and do that deliberately. I heard of one couple who, they got all dressed up and made a nice meal and a candlelit dinner and stayed home and had dinner at home. They didn't go out for dinner. They stayed at home for dinner. And, not on Valentine's Day. We haven't had that yet, but just trying to do some of those things together.